Microphone placement adjustment.
There we are. Welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I am one of your hosts, Alan Smith, along with...
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
In this episode,
we have no idea what we're talking about.
None whatsoever.
Because my work schedule has gotten crazy.
It has been... You know...
I need a break. I need a vacation.
Yeah, you know, And
the semester just started, so that's not happening anytime soon.
You know, by the time we were done with Retro Summer last year... Yeah, I know. I was exhausted. And then we had Oktoberfest coming up, and I was like, oh, my God. And there's barely any room in between the two to actually start.
Yeah.
And
before we got to Thanksgiving, I know. I'll be honest. I was ready to quit.
Well, but you know, done. That's a big reason why we took the break that we did was you and I both needed a break, you know, and I think Barry did too. I mean, it was just so much for so long, you know, and it was just kind of all right, let's just take the break and we'll go, and that's what we'll do.
I'm not going to lie. You kind of had to talk me into coming back.
Well, you know,
because beginning of the year, I was still kind of crispy.
Yeah, and we didn't come back until midway through January sometime, you know, and I think that's right. I had to go back and look. That's been longer than a week ago, so I have a hard time remembering anymore because things have just been so chaotic.
Squirrel.
And but this year just in general has been, I mean, as we're recording this, we're 2 weeks from September. I mean, we're literally like we're recording this we're 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
So, which is basically when this goes live. It'll only be just a couple of days from now, but it's still one of those things where it's like, really, we're already at September.
Yes.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that the weather broke here for a little bit.
Oh, it's going back to.
Oh, I know it's going back to 100 this coming week.
100-degree temperatures for several days.
But that's October. I mean, that's
September.
That's August in Tennessee. I mean, it's August. It's going to be hot. It's always hot. We get this.
Well, so is September.
I know. And the thing is with both August and September always play with us of like, oh, look, we're cooling down. Just a joke. We're going back up. Yeah. So
now I will say this. There's an old folk tradition that the days in August that you have with fog.
It's how many snows you're going
to get.
Yeah.
We're already sitting at 12.
Yeah.
For here.
12 snow days would not bother me, but I doubt it happens.
Did you really just speak that into
I'm just
existence?
saying.
I'm going to knock on some wood and say, please don't snow me into my house for the entire winter.
But what I was getting at is that we've had a little bit of a break in the heat this week. It's been nice. Man, yesterday afternoon, I was sitting out on my front porch. It felt so good as the sun was going down.
I don't know what that's like. I was at work.
Good.
I was at work. I don't know what that's about.
And I enjoyed it. So it was so nice. I knew it wasn't going to last, but it also was one of those like, oh, this is coming. This is coming. It might be another month and a half before it actually gets here, but it's coming. And I'm so looking forward to it.
I'm thinking about going back to the mountains and hunting again.
Yeah. You had something exciting happen just recently.
I have ended up spending a whole lot of money in the last 2 days. My Tahoe decided it was jealous and wanted some attention. And I had to do $900 worth of repairs to my Tahoe. Had a hard misfire on cylinder number 7, so I ended up doing a full tune-up and a coil replacement. And because that Chevy has that automatic fuel system where when you get up to cruising speed, it shuts off 4 of the cylinders. One of my cylinders lifters was starting to stick. So I ended up buying the module to shut that feature off, so it's a V8 all the time. And I figured since that wasn't expensive enough, I went ahead and threw an oil change in on top of it. And it's like, well, there's $1,000.
Mm-hmm. And then?
Well, the reason the vehicle was jealous was because I might have bought a motorcycle.
Dave has been talking about it for a long time, and he finally bought a bike. So
I went and did my Learn to Ride class back in June, and me and a buddy who rides, who's kind of been encouraging me and mentoring me, much thanks to T-Melt. went with me to check out a bike, and I ended up coming home with it.
Yep.
So I've got a 2007 Yamaha V-Star 1300.
There you go. So if you see that on the road, stay out of the way.
Yeah, stay out of the way.
I know. I got it. I'm actually looking forward to the.
You've got a bike too.
I do have a bike, and I'm looking forward to the temperature coming down a little bit before I take it out.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of going back to when I had a Jeep.
Yeah.
With no air conditioning, and of course I
had one of those.
I know and we were both much younger at the time, and also both lighter. And
I don't think I've ever been light. I don't think you could ever.
I said lighter. Okay,
classify me as light.
I said lighter than we are now. How about that?
Freshman in high school, I was still 6 foot, 200 pounds.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But the heat, and I like the heat. I'm all for the summer. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Nope.
But I have noticed as I've gotten older and am carrying a little more weight than I was back then, I don't like riding. I don't like driving when it's hot. When I mean like hot. And more so, I don't like riding when it's humid. And that's the big thing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the humidity dropping off and it not being, massively hot to get out on the road.
I've always been a fall and winter person.
Yep.
And early spring.
Spring. I love the spring.
Early spring. Yeah. Before,
the tornadoes start.
The tornadoes and the humidity starts.
Before.
In April. Before.
It's summertime one day, winter the next, fall the next, spring the next, then back to summer again, and then wintertime again. Or sometimes it's winter when you wake up in the morning, it's summer by noon, and then it's back to winter again when the sun goes down.
Some days you get all four
of them in between. I know.
In an hour. Mm-hmm. In an hour. So yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
We really ought to look into getting Middle Tennessee weather some antidepressant
some
drugs.
Xanax or something. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's but it's always been that way as long as I can. I mean, look, I've been here my entire life. It's always been this way, no matter what someone tries to tell you. Okay, it has always been this way.
Well, I'll be honest with you. We used to get more snow when I was a kid. We used to get more snow.
We did. I agree with that. Again, it doesn't hurt my feelings terribly that we don't get as much snow as we used to.
Well, but me too, because I'd never get out of my neighborhood.
I just
in the
don't like
wintertime
the cold. I hate the cold.
I don't mind the cold. The cold does not bother me at all.
And actually, you know what? Snow doesn't bother me so much. Driving in the snow does not bother me. It's the other idiots that decide they're going to get out and drive in the snow who have no clue how to do it.
You got to remember, I'm the one that goes out in the woods in November.
I know.
Sits out in that cold and waits for a deer to walk by so I can take him home and put him in my freezer to keep him warm.
By. That's the thing.
Yeah, maybe.
To maybe walk by.
Yeah.
And then maybe you hit it.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed twice.
Yeah,
both my shots last year.
I know. But yeah, that's Well, and then on top of all this, what we're talking about, the week before David's Tahoe decided to give you problems. My vehicle that I've had for 8 years or almost 7 years now. I was on the way back home, and it all of a sudden lost power on the interstate.
Yeah.
Just so happened that I was at the same exit where Dave lives, so I was like, unfortunately for Dave and myself, but more so for Dave.
Oh, we're going to talk about this.
Oh, we neither one of us have good stories about AAA at this point.
I'm getting ready to cancel my membership. I believe so, because I have called the home office here in Nashville twice, and they still have not gotten back to me.
Well, what happened? And Dave was nice enough to come and meet me, at the exit, which is not that far from his house.
It's like 3 minutes.
And I called AAA. My first instinct. Okay, so through my insurance company, I have roadside assistance. My first instinct was that I called because I had my son that night, but he was here at the house with Dad. And I called Dad to let him know. He's like, oh, well, I gave you that AAA card a couple months ago, which I had forgotten about.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just call them. I should have called my insurance company first.
Yeah, you should have.
What happened is I called AAA, and then Dave got there 15 minutes later. And then we sat there for an hour. I never heard a word from them. And I called them, and they're like, oh, yeah, we had the wrong phone number. Okay. well, we got you in the queue. We'll let you know what's going to go. We'll make sure and give you highlights. 3 hours later,
it was
2 hours later is what it was. So I've been sitting there for 3 hours waiting on them.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I called my insurance company, and they were like, okay, yeah, we'll dispatch somebody. It's going to be 90 minutes before they can get there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, at least you gave me something. Okay. So then I called back to AAA, and they're like, oh yeah, we haven't even put it in dispatch yet. I'm like, well, what's good in having this if I'm just going to be sitting here for 3 hours waiting for you to even put it in a dispatch? So we wound up sitting there. It took them a little more than an hour and a half, but they did get there. I did get home. Unfortunately for Dave, it was like 2:30 in the morning when he dropped me off, and he had to be at work. His alarm went off at 3 or whatever.
No, my alarm went off at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I could get up and get ready for work. Well, then my Tahoe dies on me.
And then that happened right after it.
And I called AAA because I've had AAA forever, and
you had the fancy gold version.
I've got the gold card AAA, and they've always, anytime I've called AAA, they've been there within hour 45,
usually
maybe 2.5 hours tops, and that's been on like a Friday night when everybody is calling AAA.
Oh yeah, and this was a Tuesday evening. Just to let you know, when mine went down, like a Tuesday evening around 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
8:30. I guess it was about 8:30.
It was between 8:30 and 9 because I was
when I called you. That's right.
Bed,
yeah. So it was between 8:30 and 9 because I was on the way back home. Yeah. I in theory, I would have been home in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
From there.
So my truck's broke down. I call AAA, and hour and a half goes by. I've not got any updates. So I call them. I was like, hey. I called. You said you'd have a tow truck here within 45 minutes. What's going on? Well, the app didn't say that because you're in the queue. It hasn't gone to dispatch yet. Right. I was like, I'm sitting here looking at the application. It says my tow truck should have been here 15 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. Well, there's no way it says that because our system's showing. It's like, well, you're full of crap. And they go, hold on. And all of a sudden it updates, and
it
it's
was
like
gone.
No destination time ready.
You should have taken a screen cap of it. So
I was in the process of trying to do it when they refreshed it.
Yeah.
And then they left me stranded for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Well, it had been an intermittent electrical issue to where it would die. I mean, be door dead. And after sitting anywhere from 30 minutes to, now 3 hours, it would just suddenly start running. Well, I was like, well, screw this. Maybe I can jump it. And my wife's car was parked right next to mine because she'd come to help me. And I went out to get in her vehicle to get the jumper cables, and I picked up the wrong key fob. And when I went to unlock her vehicle, it unlocked my vehicle. I was like, wait a minute, electrical doors just fired. Maybe this thing will start. So sure enough, I put the key in the car, and it started, and I immediately went and drove it to my shop and called my wife. It's like, hey, this thing started. I'm going straight to the shop. Follow me. And for the next 20 minutes on the way to the shop, I called AAA and I gave them down the road. When I got home, I posted on AAA's, I reached out and scorched them on AAA on Twitter, which is now known as X.
Yeah.
And they reached out direct message like, hey, send us your account number and a contact number. Never heard from them. Have still never heard from them. That's been 2 weeks. I have called the Nashville home office twice and left messages. Mm-hmm. I have received no phone calls back yet. If I get a day off from work, I'm going down to the AAA office in person, and I'm going to ruin somebody's day face to face.
I had AAA for years.
So if anybody that's listening knows anybody at AAA, somebody at the Nashville office is about to have a 6'2", 330-pound, red-headed, bearded man walk into their office and scream at somebody for a couple hours. Because why am I paying you $100+ a year? No, I take it back. It's probably closer to $200 a year, even though I get a discount through my work. If you're not going to show up when I call you, what's the point in doing this? Well, because all the rest of your products are garbage. I've tried using your other products, and they're garbage.
AAA, here's something most people don't know. there is a serious problem in Florida right now. It's been going on for a little while.
If they send me one more life insurance, we want you to sign up for life insurance.
Like home insurance, has skyrocketed in Florida to the point to where AAA, as well as a couple other companies who offer that kind of stuff, are now canceling policies and no longer writing new ones in Florida. Yeah. And it's crazy. I mean, it's just like you've got to be. Of course, it all has to do about the hurricanes because, if we give homeowners insurance in Florida, there's probably going to be a hurricane and we're going to have to pay out. Well, that's why we pay you money.
Yeah.
That's
it's called insurance for a reason.
Exactly.
We pay you money.
That's insurance across the boards, though, whether it's medical or it's, whatever. It's just like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, well, I've been paying you to cover this in the event that something bad happens. So when something bad happens, you're supposed to take care of this.
Yeah.
And they will find every reason not to. And I've known multiple people. I personally have not had this problem, but I have known multiple people who have had to sue their insurance company to, and it's like, well, then that winds up costing you money, and it's just ridiculous. I have no love for insurance companies.
They take your money and then they use that money to pay their lawyers to make sure they don't have to pay you the money you've already paid them just to cover the thing that you paid them to do. Yep. You got to love a business that was started by the mafia.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I know it's not true, but I stand by my statement.
Well, circling back to my car story.
I'm not angry about it at all.
Mine, my vehicle is done for now. So
you have no engine.
I can drive it. I can't get over 20 miles an hour.
And it goes clank, clank, clank,
and
clank, clank.
If I try to go up a hill that has any kind of grade to it whatsoever, it almost is at a standstill by the time I get to the top of it. So,
like I said, you have no engine, my friend.
Yeah, pretty much. So now I'm in the looking for a vehicle, and oh my God, have prices gone up since the last time I bought a car?
I've been seeing cars on Facebook Marketplace, but I can't send them to you because
I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, you love Facebook. I found a 73 Cadillac Eldorado that was like $8,600. It wasn't in bad shape.
I'm not buying a Cadillac.
You've had a Cadillac.
My parents had a Cadillac.
Drove that Cadillac?
I did. I drove that Cadillac a lot. And that Cadillac was almost as long as my house here. And it got about 8 miles to the gallon. Had a lot of get up and get. Well, it was slow off the line, but down the stretch, no.
And it floated like a couch.
Man, it had the smoothest ride once you got up about 65, 70 miles an hour.
I have found you several classic Cadillacs.
Yeah, I am not doing anything like that again. I got spoiled on my CRV because it got good gas mileage. What's funny is my dad's been letting me drive his, he's got a Honda Odyssey. It's like an 04 or something. It's an older one.
Yeah.
It's been really good with my side job because there's a lot of space. I can just throw everything in there and go. I don't have to worry about actually getting out of the vehicle to get packages and stuff like that. But it gets better gas mileage than my 2010 CRV did, and it's a much bigger vehicle. I'm like, huh. Yeah, but that's the thing. I kind of got spoiled on that gas mileage, where I was like, I really don't want to go back to something that it's crap.
I would tell you this.
Because believe me, I have kicked around the idea of a Jeep Wrangler many times, and I'm just like, I remember this thing not getting very good.
It's a box on wheels.
I know, it just does not. And I had, now you have to really be careful because they started making automatics. Mm-hmm. And so you have to look to see if it's an automatic or if it's a manual. Mine was a manual. I got,
Mine was a manual.
And, you get better gas mileage on a manual, but it's still...
Yeah.
It's still
well, let's be honest. Jeeps are not Jeeps anymore.
No.
They are pavement princesses now. And I've got some friends that are awesome, are some diehard Jeepers that have extremely customized their Jeeps to go trail riding and all that. You didn't used to have to customize a Jeep to go trail riding.
Here's the thing. Anytime I see a Jeep now, well, first off, it's usually a Rubicon or whatever. It's one of
the truck,
the big look. No, it's not the truck, but it's the.
You're talking about the 4-door?
Yes, the 4-door.
Not every Rubicon is 4-door.
I know, but it's that style. Okay, that's generally what you see on the road.
I think they only make the 4-doors.
I know, and
it's because they're generally driven by
7 out of
young, white, blonde women now.
7 out of 10 times when I see one, they've got a row of little rubber ducks on the.
That was not happening.
I do not understand that, and I know every time I see that, I'm like, oh, that's a chick's car.
Okay. No, there are dudes. There are dudes that have just as many rubber ducks.
Yeah, like I said, that's a chick's car. So.
All we had when we had our Jeeps was the 2-finger wave from the steering.
That's right. It's it is one of those things you would wave whenever you see one go by. That's it.
That was it.
But that was one of the things that all of a sudden I noticed one day. I'm like, what's going on? And I started paying more attention to it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a woman.
And if you saw another Jeep broke down, you would stop to pull over and make sure that they were.
It's just like it's just like with the bike. Yeah. The rules, there are these unwritten rules of the road. It's the 2 wheels down.
Yep.
The wave, and if somebody's on the side of the road, you stop and help them.
The wave is the 2 fingers.
I know
it's keeping the tires on the pavement.
Right. But it's just
and if you see a bike broke down the side of the road, you stop and you check on them, make sure they're all right, see if you can help them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is.
Yep.
It's part of the brotherhood.
Yep. It's
or sisterhood, depending on who's riding the bike.
Dude, I was behind 2 riders earlier today, and it was one was a man, one was a woman. The woman was in the lead. She was riding that thing too, man. She was riding it. It was when I saw her take a corner. I'm like, damn, that's impressive.
Well, and now that I've got a bike, folks, don't tailgate a bike.
No, do not.
Don't get around them.
Do not.
I know some.
Watch out for them.
I know some bikers. Now that I've started, getting in, because I've been asking a lot of questions, and if I run into, I'll be in one of the bike shops looking at stuff, and it's amazing the people that will talk to you, and you go,
absolutely.
You go, hey, I'm a new rider, and they're like,
right.
I have run in, I don't know how many people that ride bikes that tell me they keep a 1 or 2 inch steel ball bearing in their left pocket of their jacket. And when somebody gets up too close behind them, they pull that 1 or 2 inch steel steel ball bearing out, and they hold it above their helmet. And if they don't back off,
let it go.
They just let it go.
Yeah. Well, it's.
So don't tailgate a bike. You may end up with a steel ball bearing in the grill of your car.
Also, the fact is just don't tailgate a bike because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to tailgate a regular vehicle.
Anybody.
But a bike especially, because, if you're tailgating a regular vehicle and they suddenly have to stop, it's not going to be pleasant. Mm-mm. But there are enough safety protocols that are built into both of those vehicles to where
you got a cage wrap.
Exactly. The bike's not like that.
You're sitting on the cage.
If you run underneath a bike, somebody's going to the hospital. That's
or the funeral home.
Or one of the two. It's like, well, you're going to the hospital before you go to the funeral home. But it's one of those things where it's just like, and it kills me. Like, we didn't really turn this into bike talk, but it wasn't all that long ago. Just a few weeks, I was over on a main road here in north of Nashville, and a guy on a bike pulled out. It's going the same way as me. I watched him. I let him over, and he got over into the far left-hand lane. Mm-hmm. And I had gone on up. He got over. He was kind of got caught in traffic or whatever, and I went on up, and it kind of cleared out in front of him. And he took off. He wasn't like speeding, but he got up a lot faster than everybody else was kind of going.
Yeah.
And I saw I was watching that lane. And, we were moving, and there was a little bit of a barrier between me and the car in front of me. And this guy was kind of what would be inside of that gap in his lane. And I watched this vehicle from a long way back pull out into his lane. And I'm going, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. You need to slow down. He never slowed down. And so I slowed down.
And then he slipped
over into the, and it was like, if I hadn't have done that, he would have been up somebody's tailpipe or over in the ditch, one of the two.
Sports bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But it was just one of those things where I was like, this is riding 101 right here. You always watch for people coming out. If you see the side of the car or the vehicle pull out, you need to get either slow down or get another lane.
Escape route.
Yeah, exactly. And he just kept going, like never even. I'm like, dude, there is nothing obstructing this view of you for this entire way. So I don't know what was going on, but I was just like, dude, the only reason he did not wind up on that car, or like I said, over on the ditch, is because I slowed down. And that irritates me.
But you notice how I immediately went sports bike.
It was. Yeah, it was. And absolutely.
And the only reason I say that is because they tend to be younger.
Yeah.
They tend to be male. Yeah. And they tend to be
a little more reckless.
A little bit more reckless.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas I'm old and fat, and I already have my go fast days behind.
Yeah,
me.
you know, that was the whole with me buying a bike. I was like, I don't care about doing. I never cared about doing 100 miles an hour on a motorcycle ever.
No,
you know, but I'm like, no. This is for me running around town more than anything.
This is going to be
now. That's also dangerous in and of itself. You're actually better off on the highway because you really only have to worry about what's in front of you and what's behind you
and what's beside you.
Yeah, but you're not looking at a lot of people pulling out in front of you on the highway. You know,
you're talking about interstate.
Yes, that's why I say interstate. You know,
you still got to but
you have to worry about what's around you. There is always the off chance an animal might run out, you know, or something like that.
Around here, deer.
Yeah,
yep.
Especially this time of year. But the amount of things that you have to, or people you have to worry about, is much smaller on the interstate than it is around town.
I know people that would argue with you on that point. And honestly, the reason I got mine was for stress relief, because I bought it literally to put my helmet on and get away from people.
Right.
Get out on the road, get in the breeze, and get away from people. Now, there are going to be a few people that I'm going to want to ride with. You're one of them. T-Meld is one of them. If I go to ride with T-Meld, I'll call you because we're going to the Trace.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's 45 miles an hour.
Yep.
It's a state park.
Yep.
You know, it's just a nice, easy.
It is. That is
45, and we're talking about going down to Hohenwald.
Yep.
And getting lunch,
beautiful.
And then driving back. And
especially once the leaves start turning. Yeah. That'd be beautiful. Yeah. And hell, even that ride all the way down to the Mississippi line is nice. I mean, it just, you know.
It's only 400 some odd miles from the Loveless to Natchez. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me like, and it's 45 miles an hour all the way to Natchez.
Right.
That seems to me like that would be a good weekend trip to pack a bag
and go
throw it on the back and just ride to Natchez, spend the night, and turn around and come back. Or if you want to make it a long weekend, there are campsites.
Oh, absolutely. Go to Hohenwald. Man, go down around. Yeah, there's plenty of places down there.
There's actual campsites in the state park area around the Natchez Trace to where you can pull off the trace and camp.
Right.
So
I am contemplating, since I have to buy a new regular vehicle, you know, about selling my bike and then buying another one at a later time to be able to afford to buy a car, because I got to get one, and it sucks, you know. Anyway, now that we've talked about our cars, there has been a lot, and I know all through kind of this year,
through this episode.
Well, all through this year, we keep talking about because life, you know.
Yeah.
Because this year has been one of those years, and
it's basically been one of those years since.
Matter of fact, this episode wasn't even supposed to happen today.
No, it really wasn't.
Actually, Brody was going to come back and sit in with me to record an episode because Dave was working, and then we were supposed to have poker tonight, but I'm not feeling incredibly well all of a sudden because of some new medication that I'm still getting used to. So Dave was like, well, I'll just swing by there. Well, so now we're doing this. So
and I got off work earlier than I thought I was going to.
So,
and I was like, let me come by there, check on you, see if you need anything so I can run to the store for you.
Right. Yeah. And it wasn't. I knew I just needed to like lay down and cool down a little bit because it's so freaking hot outside.
And honestly, the event I worked today, there was a group there that was handing out free fresh vegetables. So
that's right. We got some free.
I grabbed
nice veggies.
I grabbed 2 bags of veggies and I brought him one.
Yeah,
it's like, here you go. If your stomach's upset, you need raw vegetables.
We need to talk about something very important that celebrated an anniversary since we recorded last.
I'm a little worried.
August 5th, 2003.
Okay.
Fox following American Idol.
I'm lost, but you know
it wasn't lost. We still got a couple of years before lost.
I wouldn't watch that garbage
that
show.
I love that show. Hold on.
My wife loved that show. I wouldn't watch it, and when they got to the smoke monster, I was like, this jumped the shark episodes ago.
The OC bitches. 20 years, man.
Okay,
How many OC references have I made on this show over the last 4 years?
So I wasn't too far off when I made a reference to garbage TV.
I am telling you right now, that first season of the OC
garbage
is incredible. And I'm not even talking about like, for teen drama, because the teen drama stuff, it's there, but it's just the entire show.
Insert floating dumpster fire meme here.
Well, do you want to know what show wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the OC?
Probably another garbage show.
Chuck.
That is not true.
It is true.
No, it can't. No.
Josh Schwartz, who created the OC, also created Chuck.
So he quit doing jugs to create an actual good TV show.
So many people who were on the OC wound up on Chuck. Legitimately. Like tons of them. When we do our Chuck episode, I am going to point out every single one of them. What's his name? Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was on the OC for a few episodes in the 4th season.
So he started doing drugs to do
and
Chuck.
he did. That was one of those things that they liked him so much that whenever they were doing casting for Chuck, they were like, oh, no, that guy's got to come over here. And so, I mean, you go down the list of people who were on both shows.
So he created a TV show that was absolute garbage and realized his mistakes.
Have you ever watched a single episode of the OC?
And came over and made a good TV show with the notes that he made for making the garbage TV.
Anyway, so the OC celebrated 20 years, and
that's unfortunate.
It is amazing that it's been 20 years. That is just... It was something else, man. I'm not going to go back and rewatch that one again because I did it a couple of years ago. There is a great...
The fact that you watched it once is
I've watched
way
it multiple
too much.
times. I don't know what you're talking about.
Way too much.
I watched it when it was on the air. I watched it, on box set a couple times through. And
you probably bought it and have it here at your house.
I had the complete season, the complete series. It's only 4 seasons. Box set at one point, but it's all on HBO Max now. So
did you sell them? Did you sell them? Are they gone?
I don't have it any longer.
Good. You came to your senses.
Doesn't mean I won't get them again. They do have a nice box set of the complete. So
you sell the motorcycle and you buy that again? This podcast is over. Podcast is over.
We've been doing this 4 years now. As of I think it was the 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's the longest our friendship has lasted.
No.
Usually we have a fight. We don't talk for a year.
Well, but... Actually, I think just life made us not talk for a long time because, you had a real job and...
What do you mean had? Do you know something I don't?
Well, I'm just saying I'm talking about in those years after, like, post-college, you had a real job and a wife. And I shortly thereafter got rid of my first wife and didn't have a real job since then. I guess for a little while. But... Like, don't get me wrong, I do all right for myself, but...
You're definitely gig economy.
I do not... Right before we did
You're basically a foul-mouthed hippie. You realize that, right?
Right before we did this podcast, I had my last quote-unquote real job. I went back into working a real job for a while.
Yeah.
And it was kind of one of those things where I realized after a little bit, there's like, oh, yeah, I'm not cut out for this.
It's been 4 years since my knee surgery.
Yeah. We posted.
Which is the only way you got me started on this podcast is you had to wait until I was completely stoned off of prescription medications.
Hey, you do what you have to do. August 11th.
You Bill Cosby'd me.
August 11th was when we posted our first 2 episodes, the Crow and
X-Files.
Was it X-Files or was it?
We did 2 episodes of the X-Files.
Was it the X-Files was the next one? Okay.
It was the...
No. Second episode was Bands That Never Broke Big.
Was that the second episode?
Yep.
I'm not sure.
We recorded those 2 episodes. We also recorded the X-Files episode, and there was another one that we did while you were laid up because it was over 2 different
couple different days.
And then we got into the rest of everything else. I think failed attempts at being cool might have been one of them. Or no, it was the tangents.
No, you are right. It was our first 4 episodes were The Crow, Bands That Never Broke Big, X-Files, and failed attempts at being cool.
Yeah.
Which we're still failing at.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even try anymore. But yeah, so we've been doing this for a little over 4 years now.
Episode number 6 was our very first. We have no idea what we're talking about, so we're going to turn the mics on and talk, kind of like this episode.
That was our really our first episode that never saw the light of day and may never now since hard drive crashed. I know. It sucks, man. I still haven't taken that thing to be looked at. I need to. Anyway.
Might be just as well.
It could. I don't know. It wasn't a bad episode. It was just, it wasn't anywhere near polished enough to be put out to the public. Let's put it that way. So.
I feel like I probably should never hear it because I was super high.
No, I'm talking about the one that we did before that.
Oh.
The one that kind of launched all the rest of this. We were just hanging out at my old place that one night.
We're going to do that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, sit down for a second. And then an hour later, I hit stop.
I'm never going to let you forget the fact that you Bill Cosby.
Well, hey, look, you had time on your hands and you couldn't get away, so.
You've always had a tendency to go after the wounded ones.
Hey, you do what you got to do. Like I said, it's. Yeah, it's just I'm really looking forward to Oktoberfest this year for a lot of reasons.
I'm trying to figure out when we're going to do it.
Well, next month. We're going to do the bulk of it in September. I'm going to tell you that right now. We are going to do that, especially the amount, because especially with us since we came back, we've been doing every other week.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I got a surprise for you before we get out of here. We've been doing this every other. I love that look. Every other week. And when we go to Oktoberfest, we've always done 2 a week.
2 a week.
So all of a sudden, we're going
to go from every other week
our
to 2 a week,
which means we have to have a bunch of them in the can.
We're going to have to figure it out because they're starting to book Saturday events at work that I'm having to work, and yeah, the overtime money is
good. I get it.
But
hey, look, I've got to buy a car, so I'm working all that I can to try to get money squirreled away. So I understand that. But we're going to wind up pulling some, during the week. Get as much of it in as we can.
I may have to burn a vacation.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into it too much, but for starting this next week, my custody arrangement with my son is changing to where I'm going to have him a lot.
Okay.
And so it is, which I'm not complaining about that in the slightest. I'm happy to have him around all the time,
no,
which means you guys will probably hear him in the background when we're doing this quite a bit. But it's just, it's going to be an adjustment at the beginning and then it'll be fine. Just, again, it's a temporary arrangement, but it's going to be long enough to where I'm going to have to really make some serious adjustments. Yeah. And I'm happy to do it.
Well, it's because
I'm extremely happy.
X is such a good kid anyway.
So, that we're talking about X, the Twitter becoming X now, which we do have an X account. I think the only people following us are like,
Do we post over there?
I've put up 2 things in the last couple weeks, and really it's basically the photo for our last podcast about Return of the Jedi, and then there was that coffee meme that I put up about coffee doesn't ask silly questions, it just understands or whatever it is.
By the way, I should mention that I actually have an Instagram for the show.
We have an Instagram for the show.
Well, we have an Instagram for the show, but I have
a personal
Instagram for the show that I haven't really been posting on. I'm going to try to start posting on it.
I am going to put, because I have not, at least not in a very long time, because we were completely off Twitter for the longest time. Yeah. And then we got back on it to no avail. It was just kind of it's there, whatever. Yeah. But we do have an X account, and but yeah, every time somebody says something about X, I just immediately start hearing DMX in my head. The X go and give it to you. I know.
Where are my dogs? Where are my dogs? Where are my dogs?
Where the hood at? That's it. Where the hood? Where the hood? Where the hood at? That DMX. I know we talked about DMX when he died, but man, I X was my guy. I'm sorry, that out of there, that's a whole. We have kicked around the idea of doing an episode about, especially now since they're talking about it being the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Which I think, okay, if we're going to draw that line, I'm awesome. Vice has got a series right now called History of Hip Hop where they're interviewing different people.
Me and hip hop are the same age.
Yeah, and so it's like that's cool. And I love a lot of that old school stuff. I mean, I do. But when you get into that kind of post East Coast, West Coast thing, like late 90s into the early 2000s, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, DMX, that was, he was coming through all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, this was the guy that I was with,
See, I remember being at the South Central Kentucky, being at the skating rink. Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of white kids going around the circle, and hearing this. Give it a minute.
Bass. The white lines. Yeah.
I love that groove.
I remember hearing that and hearing, I can never remember the actual name of the song. The Don't Push Me 'Cause I'm Close to the Edge. That one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hearing that.
Look at me, quick on the draw.
I know,
it's called, it's Grandmaster Flash.
The message. That's what it is. Yeah. That kind of stuff, and like JJ Fab or any number of
Africa Bambaataa.
Yeah. KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions, like all that. I remember hearing all that stuff, because we had a local radio station here. It's called 92Q. It's still on the air, I think.
It's more R&B and oldies throwbacks.
But way back in the 80s, when I started listening to them, they did some R&B. There was some R&B on there, but they were on the cutting edge of a lot of the early rap stuff, the hip hop. And I remember hearing all that stuff. Of course, my parents were like, "What are you listening to?" But it was just like, I remember hearing all that stuff and be like, "What is this? This is cool." And it's been fun because that is one of the things whenever I go record shopping, I'm always looking for old hip hop albums
and R&B.
And R&B. Yeah, because I just picked up that Bell Biv DeVoe Poison not long ago.
I'm so freaking jealous. We're gonna have to go in there and listen to that.
I'm telling you. Yeah. But I've picked up some others. Like I got that copy of Bad. LL Cool J's first album.
I wish I had a copy of
his first one. I've got.
I'm telling you right now. Yeah. Right now, if you see a copy of Fear of a Black Planet.
Yeah, well, those are expensive, and I have one, and I know this. I got it in a bundle. That's the reason why I got it as cheaply as I did.
And if it's in fairly decent condition for like $25-$30, pick it up for me.
You're probably not gonna get one for that, but I got mine for around that price because it was in a bundle of stuff. Yeah, but those are the only other time I've seen one in person. It was $50. Oh, and. I got that, and I also got a copy of It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back.
Yeah, that would be.
I got both of those in a bundle of stuff that I'm like, okay, I'm willing to pay this price just for those two albums. But yeah, that again,
that or
two 50-ish-year-old white guys sitting around talking about this stuff.
The first 2 or 3 Run DMC albums I'd love to have.
I've got the self-titled, the first one.
I need Beastie Boys' License to Ill.
They've reissued that.
But I need Paul's Boutique.
They've reissued that one also.
I'd love to have the originals. I may just have to go get the
180 grand. And they're good remasters. They really are,
Because I'm not collecting. I'm listening.
I know. I'm the same way.
And Paul's Boutique is my album. I love that album.
I was never a huge fan of License to Ill to begin with. Like, there's songs on there I like, but as a whole, I never really liked. If I never hear Girls Again,
come on,
I hate that song. I'd never liked it to begin with, but over time, I've really learned to hate that song. It's just annoying. Okay, now
I think that's kind of the point, though.
Paul Revere, that is an amazing song. Okay, or Is it Posse on Broadway? No, it's not Posse on
No,
Broadway.
that is Sir Mix-a-Lot,
That's Sir Mix-a-Lot.
sir.
No, what is it? Posse.
I would love to have.
Is it Posse getting bigger? Is that the?
That's part of Posse on Broadway. That's part of that. You're
The
thinking
one that
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
no, there's one that's
and that's off of Swass. If I could get a copy of Swass, I would be a happy man.
No, what is the name of that song?
And the one that came after it with My Hoopty.
Yeah,
My Hoopty.
My Hoopty's
rolling.
a great song. What was that song that's on? It's on License to Ill. It's where they sampled When the Levee Breaks.
No. It doesn't have anything. I know what you're talking about now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I can't remember. It wasn't a single. It was.
It's not the name of the song.
Yeah. Anyway, that there are some stuff. I still love No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I like it better than Fight for Your Right to Party.
It's a better song.
It is.
It's a better song.
And Kerry King from Slayer plays on that. You know, that's it's crazy.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having a copy of Ill Communication on vinyl. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Know. Once we get into like 90s, anything past Paul's Boutique, I'm really not a big fan of theirs.
Slow and Low.
So that's it. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. It's got, yeah.
I think that's right.
Is that it? I don't. Anyways.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I do like Paul's Boutique better. High Plains Drifter is a great song.
That was my CB handle for a while.
Oh yeah, High Plains Drifter.
Yeah.
But anyway, that
Posse in Effect. I'm sorry, that's it.
That was Posse in Effect. That was it.
Yes, y'all. And you don't stop. Keep it on. Rocking the place.
Oh, that was good.
I got nothing to prove. Pay attention. My intention is to bust.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah. That's it.
Took me a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, that's. I haven't listened to that album in forever. And you know what? The thing is, I hate that song "Girls" so much that I always shy away from ever listening to anything off of there. God, no. I will cut that crap down, man. I hate that song.
Give my mic back.
I hate that song with a passion. I'm not even a big fan of Gold Monkey that much. I mean, or Brass Monkey. Sorry,
Brass Monkey.
Brass Monkey's not even. I mean, it.
You're mixing up Tone Loc
yeah.
and Beastie Boys with Funky Cold Medina and Brass Monkey.
No,
you called it Cold Monkey.
I said Gold Monkey.
Oh.
Gold Monkey was actually a TV show. It was on USA. I don't remember that or not. It's Tales of the Gold Monkey.
Oh yeah,
it was like an Indiana Jones ripoff.
Yeah.
It's Brass Monkey was the song. Yeah, but I don't know. I love all that stuff, and yeah, it does. It reminds me a lot of being at the skating rink.
Yeah.
It really does. At Houdini, Cool Mo D and stuff like that.
Daz Band.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. We start getting all the funk, and that's a whole different subject. I mean, that is Daz with Whip It.
Yep.
Yeah, that matter of fact, my cousin was telling me the other day, he's like, if you find a copy of Daz Band Gold, I'm looking for that.
Nice.
All right, I got you. Don't worry. Haven't found one yet.
But going back into some of the older stuff with like Ohio Players.
Oh yeah.
Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah.
And
that's all stuff whenever, like, especially like Parliament.
Yeah.
Or Zapp and Roger.
Yep.
That kind of, whenever I find it, I'm always like, I'm just going to I'll pick it up just because, 'cause it's like you don't run across it very often, and you just go ahead and pick it up because, there's nothing bad on it.
No, there really is.
You may not know all the songs on there, but there's nothing bad on it whatsoever.
It's going to make you want to boogaloo.
Yeah. What is it? Was it Shake Your Ass in Your Head? What was, and the rest will follow? Is that what it was? The Parliament. Or free. Was it Shake Your, or was it Free Your Ass?
No, it was Free Your Mind.
Yeah, but that was a take on it.
Yeah,
George Clinton had said something. I think it was like Shake Your Ass and the rest will follow, or something like that. So anyway, but Free Your Mind, that was in vogue in the early '90s.
I forgot about In Vogue. They were good
when they all of a sudden decided they want to be rock stars. I always love to hear like with that, where you'll get like an R&B act who all of a sudden says, hey, I want to do rock. Janet Jackson did it.
Oh,
with,
okay. Stop. I got to ask a question.
Right.
I'm totally jumping tracks. Guns N' Roses is back out on the road touring.
Did you see that? I sent you that song.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay.
No, what I'm talking about is who is his opening act?
I don't know who is it this time.
Who is touring with Guns N' Roses?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Carrie Underwood.
Well,
has been opening for what the crap is this?
When I saw them in 2016 when they did the Not in This Lifetime tour, they had a bunch of different opening acts, and here it was. I can never remember the guy's name. Steel Drivers.
Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton was the opening act.
Yeah, I was watching a video podcast the other day. I don't know who the podcaster is, but he was interviewing Brantley Gilbert, country music outlaw guy. And he was talking about how weird the touring situation has gotten after 2020, trying to put together tours that people go and watch. And he's been out touring with Five Finger Death Punch.
Right.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Years ago. Okay, we're talking about
Brantley Gilbert.
Yeah,
I
know who you're talking about.
I've heard of him like once. I don't know any of his music, but I know he's like a country music guy, kind of like with Jelly Roll and Upchurch and some of those guys.
When Lollapalooza first went out in 91.
Yeah.
As it grew, and it was one of those things. I remember seeing because Perry Farrell always tried to put together a pretty eclectic group of touring acts.
But it was like reggae and rap and rock
and all kinds
metal,
of stuff. Yeah.
But you didn't see.
Well, here's what I'm getting at though. I remember seeing an interview with Ozzy when this is like pre-Ozfest, when he was talking about that, and he said that he liked seeing that because he remembered back in the 70s when Black Sabbath was coming up, that it wouldn't be anything for them to be on the same bill with Charlie Daniels or somebody like that, where it's like they're two completely different types of music.
Yeah, but
that they would be just these eclectic, like they might have any number of people that were opening for them or that they opened for over the years. Of like, no, you would see like 3 acts on a bill and they would be completely different types of music, but people would show up for it. And then everything got segmented into, oh no, we got to put a rock act with a rock act. We got to put a country act with a country act. We got to put R&B with an R&B, whatever it was. And it's like, no, just throw them all in the mix and go.
And that's kind of the era we grew up in. Is because you went to a rock show, you expect to see rock.
Oh, yeah, you're going to see. Yeah. If you went to a metal show, you were going to get at least two metal bands.
Maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe 3 depending. If you went to just a straight rock show, you were going to get rock music. Yeah. If you went to a country music show, it was going to be rock. It was going to be country music.
You might get some country rock.
Yeah, but
maybe.
Maybe. I have not been to a whole lot of country music shows in my life. Most notably, I went and saw Travis Tritt back in the mid-'90s sometime, and his 2 opening acts were Charlie Daniels and Sammy Kershaw. And
those kind of make sense.
It did, and it was one of those things. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. The only problem I had with it was out at Starwood, and there was something wrong with the PA when Travis Tritt came on. Like, it had a hum to it the entire time. I'm like, seriously, I think it has to be as a ground somewhere. Yeah. It's like, you seriously, guys, y'all should have had this taken care of. Because it wasn't there for the opening 2 acts. It was only when he was on. So I don't know what happened there.
I bet that was his mic.
It could be. Yeah. But it was just one of those things where I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Those 3 people make sense, But,
yeah, like you'd go to a show and it'd be like Charlie Daniels, Marshall Tucker Band, and like some
it was funny
new up and comer.
It was
kind of
funny
that genre
back in the early 90s when country music was starting to come into its own again. You know, like become like a force on the Billboard charts. And that kind of stuff. You start looking at that class of 90, as they like to call them, with or was it class of '89 or whatever it was, like with you had Garth Brooks and you had Clint Black,
Trisha.
and Alan Jackson, and Trisha Yearwood came. Well, I'm talking about those three were like the ones that
Terry
people
Clark.
that people. That's a little later though.
Yeah.
That you start looking. Those were like the big three that people like looked at, and there was a couple of, I think, like Ricky Van Shelton and a couple of people like that.
Ricky Van Shelton.
That kind of opened the door for a lot of all this other stuff. But you would see. Or, hey, here you go. I remember. Do you remember when when Junior went on tour with the Scorpions?
No.
In the early 90s? Yeah.
No.
That was a co-headlining tour that they did together.
Hank probably drank him under the table.
But it was one of those things where it was like, it made.
Remember when Hank used to do a once a year Hank
every
Fest
year,
out at Starwood?
Well, after Starwood was gone, he stopped doing it though. But yeah, I went to one of those. That was a lot of fun, actually. It was the
man couldn't play his guitar
Shenandoah
when he started playing because he'd been drinking Jack.
It was him. He was the headliner. Shenandoah.
Yeah.
And what was the other act? They did Queen of Memphis, and I Like My Women Just a Little on the Trashy Side.
Confederate Railroad.
Yes, it was Confederate Railroad. That was the other.
Yeah.
It was that they were the opening act. Shenandoah was the next, and then Hank was the next one. He was the headliner.
I actually hung out with some folks, and one of the guys was dating one of the girls in the music video.
Oh, yeah.
And we were always giving him crap.
Oh,
about it.
absolutely.
She showed up one night. She was nice as could be.
Right.
And she was gorgeous. I'm not going to lie about it. But we're like, oh, you've got a type.
Yeah.
Kind of like you do.
I've known a couple of, they were girls at the time. They weren't quite women yet that were in music video, like,
Well, I mean, it was a huge industry.
And when I say that, I mean, I'm talking about like they were like 18, 19 years old, they were old, they were legal, but it was like they were just like in videos or whatever, which was a thing that happened quite a bit around here.
Well, I mean, you could go and be an extra in a music video pretty much whenever you wanted to. There was a huge industry in it.
When Nashville was on the air, I used to enjoy just looking to see who I knew in the background because I knew quite a few people.
I hate that show.
I know, but I knew quite a few people who were extras on that show because they shot it all over town, and it was just like a thing. They would have casting calls all the time. Hey, we need extras at this time. Show up, blah, blah, blah.
But that show is one of the major reasons why this town has gone to crap, because all these people have moved here thinking this is what this city's about.
I agree.
And then they're complaining about, well, there's this club down here that's keeping me up all night because they're playing country music.
Shut down. I know.
It's like,
believe me, I am well aware. We're all well aware, those of us who are from here.
It's like if you don't.
You moved here because you like that stuff, but then you get here and you want to complain
not
about
my backyard.
Yeah, whatever. We're not going to go off on another Nashville rant because it just
go back to New York.
Yeah, really. That's
I'm not angry about it at all.
There's
a lot of things I'm not angry about it at all.
There is this.
No, I hate that show, but
I watched it. I really enjoyed it.
There used to be a huge music video industry here.
There used to, yes.
And
it kind of went away when everything else left.
Well, no, wait. The year I graduated from college with my degree in broadcasting with an emphasis in television and video and moved back to Nashville, the industry collapsed and all the news stations went to automation in there. So there was no work for the degree that I had just recently
There's always
acquired.
Always this misconception that Nashville is where country music is made. It's like, no. It is very rare these days for anyone to actually record in Nashville any longer.
Not country music.
Yeah, in country.
There's a lot of rock and roll that's recorded.
Yeah,
here.
but there's not as much country music recorded in Nashville as you might think. They are outsourcing that to everywhere else. They have been for decade and a half now at least.
Most of the decent studios have closed down.
Yeah. There's a lot of that too.
Or there's so many, and part of that was all the home studios that opened up where they could go. The artists could go in and record all the stuff themselves and then take it somewhere else to get mastered, like Blackbird.
Right. And
Blackbird's still around, and I think they're still doing pretty good. But
once you start looking at the prime example,
Yeah.
That Oliver Anthony, that Richmond, north of Richmond.
Oh, yeah.
Which as we're recording this, it was announced that when Billboard comes out next week, he's going to be number 1 on the charts.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like the song. I just don't think it's a very good song. I mean, it's like I'm all for the independent artists.
He's got a quality to his voice, though.
It just doesn't appeal to me. Okay.
Well, it's because you're not into bluegrass like I am.
Well, maybe, but it's just I don't particularly like that song. Okay?
I'm not going to lie. I was looking at the video the whole time thinking, that deer stand is not going to be worth anything the entire hunt season because he's done it right here for this deer stand.
Well, but like I said, it's one of those things that I like the sentiment of the song. All that kind. I'm glad to see an independent artist do well. Outside of the system and all that kind of stuff. But I just don't particularly like that song.
Okay.
What I was getting to is that he was recently offered an $8 million deal.
He's been offered multiple.
Well, but here was one that he talked about. He was offered a deal for $8 million that he turned down, and I'm glad that he did that because that's how they get you. And when I say they, I'm talking about the record industry.
Yeah.
They offer you this big. Now, here's the thing. If you take an $8 million deal, you have to recoup every bit of that money. Every dime of it has to be paid back to the record label before you ever see a cent.
And even at that, you're only going to get maybe a half a point.
Exactly. And so it's one of those things like, look, he's already proved that he doesn't need a record label, or at least not that kind of record label in order to get his music out and that kind of stuff. And I love to see artists do that kind of stuff. That has been the great thing about the internet. It kind of has been the great equalizer in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
The difference is that you don't have the machine behind you to market. That's the big thing.
Well, you can build the marketing side. The marketing side isn't really
you
the problem.
Still don't have that big machine pushing it, though. That's the thing. So
what he really doesn't have is the distribution system. Right. That's the part that's going to hurt him.
Right.
It's not the marketing. He's getting the marketing. Everybody's talking about it because of the song. He's got his marketing.
Well, it's also, is it getting airplay on the radio at all? Exactly. That's the other thing.
That's the thing I'm talking about is the distribution.
Right. Between that, Anyway, we're not going to get it up. We've gone on that stuff enough times. But again, I always like to see an independent artist make it. Truly independent. Outside.
I actually started following.
There are way too many quote unquote independent artists who are signed to major labels that I'm like, that you're not an independent artist any longer. You now are owned. They own you now.
You sold your soul to the company.
Exactly. And they let me tell you, the music business
is in it for the business.
Owns you when you sign that contract. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it.
But I went over and just to show support for I went over and I followed him on Instagram, to build his Instagram numbers because that will help him in the long run. So,
yeah.
And he actually puts out some interesting
I'm sure, but I went and listened to a couple of songs like this. Just doesn't appeal to me.
Well, that and as a ginger, I absolutely
I know,
have
and
to support the ginger.
Talking about the gingers, I'm like, whatever, And gingers are going to be eradicated eventually.
No, they're not. We are too mean, and we are.
So,
and we feed off your soul.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of it, before we get out of here,
I'm snacking right now.
Before we get out of here, so I've been watching Gotham. I had never watched Gotham. Okay,
I have watched it on and off, and it loses me, and then I'll come back to it, and it loses me.
It's on Max, HBO Max, whatever we're calling it now.
Yeah,
I am into the 4th season. There's only 5 seasons. Really, there's only 4.5 because the 5th season is only 12 episodes.
Yeah,
I am a short way into the 4th episode, and it does the thing that I really hate with television shows.
Okay.
Which is you're watching a show and you know what this show is, and it's got this feel to it. Mm-hmm. And everything's going good, and then they come back one season and it just doesn't feel like the same show any longer.
Because they got their budget cut.
Whatever it is,
the
4th season does not feel like the rest of that show that I've been watching. I'm like, oh man, is it really going to do this? So
I'm actually going back and watching on Hulu Justified with Timothy Oliphant.
I've never watched it.
I've never watched it.
I've heard a lot about it, yeah.
The show is based in Kentucky.
Okay.
And a lot of it is based either in Lexington or Frankfurt. or Louisville, but the main part of it is based down in Harlan, Kentucky.
I don't even know where Harlan
We're talking
is.
about coal country.
Okay.
Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Rough Kentucky. And
Poor Kentucky. Yeah.
Because the coal companies have come in and basically robbed the coal rights out from underneath everybody. They talk about hilltopping and all that garbage.
And the strip mining and everything.
Yeah,
I know.
and I'm enjoying the show, but it's the little they've paid attention to like little details. Like at one point, his character goes into a Minute Mart, which you find Minute Marts across Kentucky. That that's something I grew up with. But he goes in and he goes, I come here because this is the only place around here that sells Cheney's ice cream.
Okay.
Most people don't.
Cheney's. I know what Cheney's is.
Cheney's Dairy Barn is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I used to run down there while I was in college, to get ice cream and that type of stuff. And it's little details like that I'm enjoying.
Did you see where Wawa's moving to Nashville, Middle Tennessee?
Like we need another gas station.
That's one of those things with so many people who moved here from up north. They just talk about Wawa. And I'm like, all right, fine, let's see what it is.
It's just,
I was kind of that same. I had that same.
It's a Yankee gas station.
I know, and
That's
I had
all
that
it is.
same approach for Buc-ee's until I actually went to one. I'm like, no, I'm down with this. I like Buc-ee's. This place is cool. So
Okay, we got to talk about Buc-ee's.
All
for a
right.
minute. So there's one in, I think it's Crossville,
yes,
Tennessee.
and there's one opening in Clarksville. Right?
The biggest Buc-ee's that they've ever opened is in Sevierville, Tennessee.
Right.
And it's only going to last until they get the new largest Buc-ee's that they're opening at exit number 1 in Clarksville, right at the Kentucky line.
Yep.
So I went deer hunting over in Cherokee National Forest. Was in the woods by myself for like 8-9 hours a day until I went back to camp where, it was just me and my buddy where we'd eat dinner and sleep. We pack up. We're coming home. We need to get gas. And we both heard about Buc-ee's. Like, we got to check this out. Pull off. Didn't need gas. We were just going to go in, use the bathroom, check it out. Pull off, park. Have to walk what seemed like a half mile to get
It's a big place. It's a huge
to
place.
the freaking store and walk in. And it is elbow to elbow crush of humanity. Now, you got to understand, I've just spent an amazing time in the mountains by myself for
Not
the majority of the time.
BS, right?
And then walk into this. And I'm okay at first. And I'm a little amazed at the amount of stuff that it's like, this is like a Walmart gas station. Like it's a gas station that has like a better Walmart attached to it. And then I get about halfway into the store and immediately realize I'm starting to have a panic attack.
Oh, okay.
There are too many people around me. I cannot deal with this.
Yeah.
And I immediately ran back to the bathroom and walk in. And I'm amazed at how clean this bathroom is. And the fact that they've got an attendant in there basically directing traffic. Sir, that one is empty. Go right ahead. Sir, that one is empty. Go right ahead. And the stalls have full lockable doors on them. There's no gap to where you're sitting there doing your business and somebody's giving you the eye because they want the stall.
Right.
There's none of that. You have a full lockable door. You have your own little apartment to do your business in. Go in, take care of my business, wash my hands, and immediately run back to the truck screaming. I have decided the best time to go and visit a Buc-ee's is probably going to be on a Tuesday at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
To where there's nobody in there.
The only time I've been to Buc-ee's was the one that's between here and Atlanta. It's in Georgia somewhere. I don't remember exactly. It's off 75.
Yeah.
But we stopped there last year and on the way back from Southern Fried Gaming Expo. And I was like, oh, wow, this place is really cool. There's way too much stuff in here. That was my thing. I was like, there's just way too much stuff to try to see. It was just...
You could get everything from home decor to decent snacks to turkey deep fryers to...
I know. I was just like, wow.
Deer hunting stands.
I know. Everything. I was just like, wow, that's amazing. So
I was like, this is a Texan's wet dream in here.
Yeah, something like that. So I know they're supposed to be opening one I mean, I know they're the one in Clarksville. Wasn't there another one that's supposed to be opening right in this area somewhere?
I don't know.
I could be wrong about that. I don't. Maybe the Crossville one was the one I was thinking about.
That one's been open for a while.
Yeah.
Then you had the Sevierville, which
Right.
when they opened it up, it at the time was the largest Buc-ee's they'd ever built. Mm-hmm. It's only going to last about 2 years because the one they open at Clarksville, when it's done, is going to be the largest Buc-ee's they've ever built.
Right.
Now, it would not surprise me at all if they announced that they're going to build one on 40 out close to Dixon somewhere.
My thought about all those Buc-ee's is that if stuff ever goes sideways, those places are going to be looted faster than anything.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be one of the first places people hit. Hey, all that gas, all that stuff. It's just like
it's the same with Walmart. It's going to be the same with the Kroger's with the fuel stations.
Yeah, I know. It just, oh man. Oh, I'm so ready for the summer to be over with. I just really am. I know we've been rambling for a little over an hour now, and which is, I always enjoy doing these episodes, and I know that some of the people, I know like Miss So has mentioned several times that she likes our ramble episodes, because we just kind of,
I miss So.
And I know, and it's, I hope everything's going well there. I know she's been kind of infrequent recently. And
She's dealing with some stuff.
She's dealing
but
with some
we're all
stuff.
dealing with some stuff.
Yeah, we're all dealing with some stuff.
So we're all in the same boat. We just might not be paddling in the same direction.
And I haven't been spending as much time on Discord in the last few months as I did before. And there's a lot of that too.
I'm sorry, guys.
I've been trying, as we're recording this, we are, let me check it again because my brain is not working well enough to.
Your brain has never worked well enough.
Well, but it's really not working well these days. Like I said, I have.
You need a retooling.
Seriously?
Or you're just a tool. I haven't decided.
It's a little bit of column A, column B. Yeah. As we are sitting here recording this today, we are... that's not what I meant to do.
Looking for an answer for your long drawn out.
Yeah, I'm trying to stall because... Oh, here we are.
You're not doing very well.
Here we are. We are 73 days from Halloween. I know. I am looking forward to it. I've already started finding stuff, different places.
I'll be honest. I wasn't as into it last year because I went to the mountains.
Yeah.
I need to call my buddy who I go hunting with to find out if we're going to do a hunt this year up there or not. I haven't heard from him. I need to call him and find out.
Yeah.
I know there's two different hunts that we looked at last year, and one was a bear hunt and one was a deer hunt. We did you basically before Halloween, you've got black powder, deer and pig, and then basically for the Sunday at Halloween, it goes to regular rifle, bear and pig.
Okay.
And
I know around here, was it bow starts at end of September? Is that right? And then it goes to black powder in October, and it's not middle of November for regular. For deer.
It's 18th. It's 18th.
For deer, yeah, so it's...
regular rifle happens on November
18th, right?
November 18th. So,
but I know that bow hunting starts
early.
quite a bit earlier. And and again, I've never been hunting in my life, but I know this because all friends and family. So.
I'm half tempted to talk to him and talk about maybe doing the deer and the bear and just staying up there for a longer time. But that means I'm completely...
What are you going to do with a bear?
Make a rug or make a blanket.
All right, fair enough.
The people talk about eating the meat. I've heard it's not.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not great. It's kind of greasy.
And and I understand with bear because if it really is a conservation thing, if you don't thin the herd, then it will get bad. You know.
And there was a kid that killed a 400-pound black bear up there last
once
season.
in a while you hear about a bear here in Middle Tennessee. People are like, oh no, and then the trail cams are starting to show them. No. So
I forget how long it was ago. I was driving home, and I had an adolescent black bear run across 41A in front of me, and I called TWRA and reported it. And they laughed at me and said, there ain't no way. There are no black bear in Middle Tennessee whatsoever. And I said, I'm going to make a liar out of you.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to start seeing them on the trail cams in the next
that's-
year and a half.
That's what was
And
it? Just not that
Springfield.
long ago that they caught one on a trail cam.
Well,
and it just
2 years ago, they caught one on a trail cam.
no, I'm
in
talking about here
Springfield.
recently.
No, I
they
know.
caught one on a trail cam.
They've got one on camera in Antioch.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It was like, yeah,
No, that's
a lot closer into town than what you would expect.
That was not a trail cam. That was a traffic cam.
Was it a traffic cam? Okay, so well, it's just like God. I can't tell you how many coyotes that I've seen on the side of the interstate, like in suburban, like in urban Nashville. I mean, like outside and the ramp and stuff. I'm like, man,
Middle Tennessee has always had a coyote problem.
Yeah, but now all of a sudden they're coming in.
No, it
to the
and part of that
city.
is because they're getting run out of the country.
Right. And there's also a lot more food.
Well, no, and here's the other problem. The amount of deer that are in Davidson County,
man.
and Davidson County will not allow you to hunt in county.
I
You can't
have-
do it. My in-laws the other night had 16 deer in their backyard. Their backyard had 16. And the coyotes are following the food in.
I let Biscuit out the back last week.
Yeah.
And while he was going to the bathroom, I looked across my neighbor's yard over to the neighbor on the other side of them.
Yeah.
And a doe and a fawn came out and started walking. I was over near one of the Amazon facilities right here in the middle of like where it's very populated the other day leaving, and 6 deer, it was 3 doe and 3 fawns, crossed the road right there. Luckily I stopped at the stop sign and looked and saw the first 2, and then the next 4 came out after it. And I was just like, wow. And very, very populated area. So
Davidson County has a multi-layered problem because, one, they have all this construction that's going on where they're tearing down all these woodlands that have been part of Davidson County. 2, they will not allow any hunting in Davidson County whatsoever. And so they are not policing the herd.
I see dead deer on the side of the road all the time.
And if Davidson County doesn't do something to start thinning the herd and policing the herd, we're going to end up with an overpopulation. They're going to be dying of starvation because there's going to be a lack of food, and we're going to end up with chronic wasting disease in Middle Tennessee because of this stupid county right here. Well, and it's already in Shelby and part of West Tennessee.
Right.
And we're trying to keep it from moving up here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and if Davidson County doesn't start, I think there's
don't even get me started on local politics. So
I think there are parts of Davidson County in the outlying areas that are still rural where you can deer hunt.
You can do it, right?
But they're going to have
Jolton being a prime example.
Jolton, some of those other areas. But you're going to have to start.
There are parts of Antioch that you can hunt in. I mean, that's.
But they're going to have to start allowing some bow hunting,
right,
in suburbia Nashville, to start thinning some of these herds, or they're going to end up with a really bad problem.
Like I said, I have witnessed deer crossing major thoroughways here and barely getting across multiple times. And then, like I said, I have seen plenty of them dead on the side of the road where they've been hit. And it's just it's happening more and more and more and more and more and more over the last 7-8 years.
This morning, because I had to be at the college at 7 a.m. to deal with this event that we had today. I'm on Briley Parkway. For those not familiar with Briley Parkway, it's basically a small interstate.
Yeah, it goes all the way around the city.
It goes all the way around the city. Yep. It's 2 lanes, and it's got a wall in the middle. And I had a deer come out across Briley Parkway, jump the concrete wall into the other lanes of traffic, and almost land on top of a car jumping the wall. Yeah. And it was not a small buck. No. It was at least a 6-pointer.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a couple of them around here. It's 6, 4. I saw one that was 4 and one that was 6 here in my yard. And I do not live in a rural area whatsoever.
You ought to get you a crossbow and just sit in the backyard.
I wouldn't anyway. So, I mean, I don't know how to process them for one thing. So it's
YouTube.
Well, I'm sure, but now I have the resources to figure out how to do that just because,
Or you can make a phone call and have them do it for you.
There's that, But I also am just like...
When are you going to make an introduction?
It's just going to happen. It'll happen soon.
We need to go to dinner.
It'll happen soon. So,
Yeah, sorry.
Especially since you guys are practically neighbors, so it's.
I didn't listen. I ended up buying a fuel injected bike. I'm gonna have.
Yeah, well, it is.
I'm gonna have to. Well, I got a battery tender, and I'm just gonna have to buy a jumper pack. So.
That tender, we started talking about that earlier before we got on the air. I was like, that's going to be one of the things that will save you on the battery because they will die.
Yeah,
they will die, and there's no ifs ands about it.
Don't you sell your bike?
I have the plan in place. If I have to sell my bike, I will have a new one in a very short amount of time. It's just that I will be, rather than what I did with the one that I own now, where I bought it outright, it will be I can sell this bike, that bike, put a really good down payment or outright buy a vehicle, and then I can purchase, I will still have money left over either of those situations to put down a good down payment on another bike
and do monthly
payments on it. So it's and I hate to do that, but it's one of those things that happens sometimes, you know. And it's also, especially with that situation, because it won't be as expensive as a car, that I can have that paid off in no time because I can put that money together to, hey, here you go. They just go ahead and pay the rest of the balance.
Here's what's crazy about this: getting the bike was extremely easy. Mm-hmm. Finding the gear for me to ride in it has been a nightmare. I cannot find a jacket.
Have to practice, man.
Do what?
Oh,
no.
the gear.
The gear.
Yeah, I know the actual gear. I know.
I can't find a jacket with the pockets for the armor to fit me.
I was lucky on mine that
the actual last suit that I bought, they had to put me in a 62 long to fit my chest and shoulders, and then cut a V out of it to draw it in from my waist. All the jackets I've been looking at, even online, trying to special order one, because I want it big enough to where I can put a hoodie on underneath it. I can maybe get a 58. That's too small.
Yeah.
That's too small. I'm going to need if I'm in a 62, I'm going to need at least like a 64, 66 and up to be able to get a hoodie and a t-shirt and all the other stuff underneath it. All the riding pants, like the riding jeans where you can put the armor in the pockets in the riding jeans, all of them stop at a 44 waist. Yeah. I'm a 46 to 48 waist, depending on who makes it.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, but
where
I have other problems.
Where do you get fat guy riding gear? Where do you do it?
If you know, email us so I can pass that on to Dave.
I need help because I need the Kevlar jeans with the pockets for the armor with like a 48 waist and a 30 length. All of my height is from the waist up because I wear a 30 length pants.
Which is funny because I wear a 30 length pants.
Yeah, and you're a short little dude.
And I'm 6 inches shorter than you, so it's...
Well, I'm top heavy. If you need to knock me over...
Even for my height, I am short-waisted.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those, I have longer legs than I have torso, and which makes clothing fit weird. You know, I mean, just in general. I mean,
you don't have to tell me.
I know.
If I wear a 5XL T shirt, if it doesn't have the T, it does not reach my belt.
Right.
I can sometimes get away with a 6XL because it has the length, but now it looks like I've lost weight because it's just kind of hanging off.
For me, more times than not, even when I was much thinner, it was one of those things where if I find something that fits in the shoulders, it comes all the way down to my knees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you know, and so it's just one of those things of like, okay, do I give away comfort in my shoulders and chest so that I don't, you know, look like a kid trying to wear his dad's shirt?
Yeah.
Or do I got something that's going to fit a little closer to where than lengthwise to where it's a little too tight up top, you know? And that's just, it's a weird, it's always been like that.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who always wears too small.
Had the same problem with jeans for the longest time. That was one of the things I loved about baggies. It's because I'd always buy them right in the waist. You know, they were always the weight. You know, I was a 34 back then, 33, 34, somewhere in there. I would buy those, and then they would be baggy. So I didn't have I wouldn't have the problem to where like, okay, I'll buy a pair of 34 jeans that are like not even just straight leg, not even like slim or anything, and then they don't fit in the thighs. I mean, I just like, you've got to be kidding me, you know. And it just, or I have to buy them that fit in the thigh, and then they're way too big in the waist. You know?
I've always had to do the relaxed fit jean.
Yeah,
always. Even
the relaxed fit was always one of those things. It was like, it depended, you know.
My to go to jean is the 559 from Levi.
Remember when the 501s became a thing, you know, back in the early 90s? I loved the jeans.
Dude, but I couldn't wear them.
It just...
I nearly almost didn't make it to the urinal in time.
Yeah.
To get those
trying to get those unbuttoned, I know.
It was like...
button fly.
It was like, gotta pee,
I know.
gotta pee.
I found out after a while with that, in that situation, what you had to do is that you had to, like, work those things. Like, you really... To where it was one of those things where they to where where it buttoned, you know, the side opposite the button was just tight enough to where it would stay buttoned, but loose enough to where you could literally just like pull them and they would open.
Nope. I had one pair. I had them for about 6 months. I went right back to a zipper.
Yeah,
I'm a 559 guy.
Yeah. So I hadn't even tried button fly in 30 or 25 years at least, or more.
What a nightmare.
Oh. Yeah, especially in the beginning. I agree with that.
It's like,
but it also, they just didn't fit right.
No.
I mean, it was just, they just did not fit right. So, but they were all the rage there for a while. So,
and believe me, I've tried other jeans. I've tried to wear other jeans because I'm not overly happy with Levi or some of their political stances. I don't like necessarily giving them money.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to find a jean that fits me right other than this one style of jean. They get rid of it. I guess I'm just going to Winnie the Pooh it or something.
Well, you know, man, we get all that. I don't want to get into politics.
No, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah, believe me, there is certain things that for a long time now that I refuse to give money, and I'm sticking with it because. No, that is there has to be a line in the sand at some point. And
unfortunately for me, the stuff that I'm paying that I don't really want to, I don't really have much of a choice because it's the only thing that's available that works for me.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is. And, you know, we're all trying to make it through the day. So
what are you going to do? Nobody wants to see me walking around or riding my motorcycle looking like Winnie the Pooh. You don't want me to do it.
Yeah. Well, you know. You're right. None of us want to see that. Nobody wants. I don't want to see anybody doing that. Honestly,
put that image in your head.
Yeah, no, I'm trying not. I am trying to stay far away from that image being stuck in my head. So it's So anyways, guys, I know we've been rambling for close to an hour and a half now. We will be back with regular episodes. Oh yeah, and I said before we get out of here, I was going to drop something on Dave. I hadn't even talked to him yet.
What?
I have started putting together some in between episodes. Just me.
Okay.
That. They may not be every other week, but they'll at least get one a month or something like that. And I'm going through, and you are more than welcome to do the same. But I didn't want to make them regular episodes. I mean, I'm talking about they might last like 15 minutes or so pop. That I just kind of, and I will give a full introduction to it whenever I finally do it. But basically what it was is that I don't know, it was about a month ago or so that it was brought to my attention that Soul Asylum's Runaway Train was on the charts 30 years ago.
Okay.
And it got me thinking about Grave Dancers Union, and that it was it's in my like favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, good album.
And I started making a list. I was like,
it's a good concert.
Yeah, I've got a lot of albums that are like in that, like these were the ones that like I still go to, you know.
Yeah. That
fall in this Gen X, you know. And so I was like, I think I'm just going to start doing some smaller episodes about the albums that I love, you know. And like I said, you're more than welcome to do the same thing if you would like to like make a list and do, you know, whatever. And I mean, it's of course, like I said, it's going to be individual, you know. And it doesn't need to go somewhere else. And it'll be one of those things that will fill those gaps, you know, of I know like I said, we've been on the every other week for a while. But I thought that would be cool. You know, hey, these, of course, we won't do them in October, but it would be cool to like kind of fill those gaps in between, and also just to be able to talk about some cool music that we love. So, but yeah, the first episode is going to be about Grave Dancers Union.
Okay,
I will have that out
whenever
next week.
Yeah,
after this post.
Oh, that's fine.
So it's
that's all right.
Yeah. And like I said, I didn't want to make them like full episodes, you know. It's just like, no, this would be cool little like I did last year with those mini-sodes, you know, where I kind of like drop some stuff in that we normally wouldn't talk about on the episode, you know, just whatever. And I had told you guys, feel free to do them if you wanted to, and nobody ever stepped up to it. So
trying to find a time to do it
I know.
has been the challenge for
I know,
me.
I get that. And so that was just kind of a
job.
I know,
life,
job. Yeah, exactly.
stuff.
Life, you believe me, job, dealing with, the just the normal life stuff, dealing with being a dad, dealing, with my dad, and all that kind of stuff, where it's just kind of, I'm working like 3 full-time jobs. So it's,
Yep.
So I get it. So everybody, thank you for listening to us ramble for a while.
By the way, you're going to put my Instagram account.
I will put that. I will
note.
also put our X in there, and
I may start posting the motorcycle stuff over in my my show Instagram stuff.
Okay, that's fine. I will. I'll post all of that stuff, and I don't need. You don't need my personal. I don't really, honestly, I don't do a whole lot on my own personal Instagram, and so it's just kind of one of those things that I lurk more than anything.
And don't even look for TikTok. We won't do it.
There is no TikTok for us. There is no Snapchat. There's no Blue Sky. Isn't that a new thing? Or Mastodon? Or I know you do Mastodon.
I do Mastodon. I'm over on one of the servers.
There's no Parler or MeWe or what are some of the other ones?
Those all came and went with Friendster.
Friendster. There's no Facebook really anymore. So I mean, it's
Facebook has really just kind of turned into marketplace and ads.
Dude,
and
I do not miss Facebook at all.
The only thing I really use Facebook for anymore is marketplace.
Yeah, that's the only thing I miss about it. Because I bought and sold all kinds of stuff on there.
It's the better Craigslist.
Yeah, it really is. Craigslist is terrible these days.
Oh, it's awful.
So anyways, before we get on, start rambling for another hour and a half.
Yeah.
I am Alan Smith.
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And we will be back with actual regular topic in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you say that.
We will. If it's not you, then I'll fall back on getting Brody over here to do an episode. So it's.
I see. I'm out.
No, you're not out. Believe me.
I'm out.
Because between now and Oktoberfest, we have one episode in particular we have to do.
I think I'm fired.
And then the rest of them, we've got plans for them. So
I'll take my equipment home with me tonight.
Whatever. How many times have you claimed to have been fired from the show, and when has it ever happened? Exactly. So it's Biscuit's like, I can sit up there and no, you're not. Biscuit, you may be cute and you may be cuddly, but
the only thing you would do,
you are not a conversationalist.
The only thing you do is lick the mic. Get us out of here. Hang up the phone already.
All right. So I am Alan Smith.
We've already done this. See ya.